Hey guys, this is Reduced to Ruins, and you're watching Rolling into Metal. Rolling into metal.
So
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's I see that you're in a different section right now. I'm very jealous. Tell everybody where you are.
so today we didn't send it for one of them, man. And for the rest of the podcast, I think we'll eventually reach. Good video for it. Perfect.
Cool, cool. You should get
Classy,
you should
eh?
yeah you should get some Tampa Florida bands as well.
I think we should get some
Um
Americans on there.
yeah, so they could actually travel to you.
Yeah,
Yeah. It'd be awesome. It looks very white and mystical in your
it's a
place.
nice house to it.
Yeah. Looks
Better
good.
than our other place, but
My bloody room, it's like all dark and doomy and shit. Yeah.
Sandy fucking grills, isn't it? Probably pissing
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, it's awful, man. Like the couple of days now, it's just been windy and rain just dripping down. I bet you just got lovely, beautiful sunshine. So
Well, it
yeah.
rained like yesterday and the day before, but it's off now. Talking about
Okay.
30 something today.
Well, that's good
Yeah.
then. That's good.
Yeah.
Have you got any plans like watch any gigs or something in Florida?
Good Riot is three. Or, yeah, I saw ads with them. I don't know if
Yeah, I
might be
reckon
a
you
bit old
should.
to be all this fucking, but
I reckon you should. And ask him, like maybe
sure, we
pinch
should
him after the
message
show.
Riot and see what they can do, actually. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, what have we got today anyway? Who have we got?
So today we've got a bunch of reduced lyrics. So the rest is a straight from Darren. So the lead singer's got very good voices, a bit James over the old vocals, right? Um, yeah, man, that's pretty interesting, you know?
Yeah. I've listened to him earlier, and one of the songs, I was like, that voice is very like Corey Taylor-esque. Like I don't know, like I always feel like it's Corey. Like when someone tries to do like clean vocals and then goes dirty, I just feel the little Corey Taylor in them. Like,
I
and
think even, yeah,
he
yeah,
might be a Corey Taylor fanboy, but who knows?
that's what I'm thinking. Like, you can tell the influences, just by listening to it. Yeah, I can tell his age as well, actually.
All right, and so how old is he? Should we ask him?
I can say from your age.
Oh, yeah, well, 26, I am
It
27
doesn't
this
vocal
month.
frying
So,
what bands is your I mean,
yeah,
Slipknot is obviously an influence, historically. I'd be
yeah.
surprised if they're not.
Yeah, well, I think it's every band's influence, Slipknot, and it's, like I said, it's just a big band. It's a,
So I don't
it's,
know if this is their first album or not, but the
I,
first songs they got are okay, right?
I've listened to it, and it's not a full length, it's a EP. So
Yeah.
they've got an EP, and I believe that they've got two singles out, I believe. I think so. Let me just check on you. But I believe it's three singles and an EP. And the EP runs for 15 minutes. I believe that's four songs, so three songs. But yeah, I listened to them earlier. Sounds great. Um, I want to know whether there's any punk vibes to it. I'm gonna be asking them about that and really how they formed, because that's all of these new bands that's coming to us now.
Yeah.
Like it's good that I do my research and I listen to a lot of new bands, and really dig them for that. And I feel like that's important as well, getting local bands noted. Yeah, we want to, as we mentioned before, we want to get to the big boys, but then it's also good to like really,
But we need to start in the grassroots the year. We start right in the beginning
yeah,
and get some
I
of
mean,
these, you know,
yeah, and it's really good to get them knowing out there as well. Like people are watching us, and I know some of my friends are watching the Rolling Into Metal podcast and actually going, "Oh, I fancy a bit of eulogy now. I want to know what they sound like. Oh, I fancy a bit of Horrenda or Abaddon. Do you get what I mean? So I just
It's doing quite well. And the fact is, we get some very exciting bands. And the young bands, and don't forget though, I mean, like a big band and being a really old band, and where these kids coming through really like new music. It's exciting, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, I couldn't find much information online about this band as well, which um I I I I don't know whether it's because I'm on a social media hiatus at the moment, so I tend to like switch off social media sometimes.
Well, my
Um
Facebook is very informative, for me really
yeah,
recording stuff, and
that's good. That's good. And it's just getting out there and pushing forward. And yeah, it's just really I always look forward to bands that have a different kind of like set to them. And I think this band I listened to earlier today has a really big um push on them and really wants to drive forward. Um from what I've seen um from the lead vocalist is that it looks very punky, like they have that kind of punk energy again.
yeah,
Um and that's always cool to watch.
yeah. And again, these are different band again,
Yeah,
It's nice
yeah.
to go away from thrash metal again and come back and do death metal again for a minute,
Yeah, well, I don't know. I wouldn't like listening to this band earlier. I wouldn't call them death metal.
I wouldn't call them the
Uh,
heaviest either, really. I mean, both of these a bit, rocky, but guitar wise, there's nothing there particularly heavy.
um, I want to ask you a question now,
Uh,
which is strange. Is that so? Obviously, I know your famous thing is what does metal mean to you? But I'm gonna ask you, what does heavy mean to you now? Because heavy for me is all about the darkness of the sound. Now,
different.
now, now, I feel that's heavy, and I think Candlemass is one of the most heaviest bands. Yeah, they've got clean vocals, but they are heavy to me. They are heavier than Cannibal Corpse because they've got like really dark, doomy like riffs. And when doom metal is so riffy and so dark and gloomy, I always see that as that's heavy.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
heavy is different, business different too. I mean, in my sense, heavy would be aggressive, so high pitched vocals, maybe the beats to me is really fast. Just a real aggressive, powerful vibe to it,
Yeah,
just heavy and noisy in that sense,
yeah,
and also you've got that metal mods of it, we compare it to lots of music, but that real metal mods. Every metal fan would say that metal noise is certainly present, but it's different to it. It's different to the noise in most music.
yeah, and it is. And I it's funny, right? Because I've always said going into like um black and death metal, going, oh, it's the heaviest shit around. But then you think about them, what is heavy? What is what is heavy? And yeah, it's aggressive and it beats you in your fucking ass.
Yeah.
But I think that's what death metal does. Black metal is more like a soothing factor, I find. It's strange. Most people think, oh my God, what is this noise? But it's just a soothing factor for me. But then when I listen to Candlemass, I really like the riffs and stuff, but I see that as heavy because of it's the style of the riffs, like the doominess. Like I can't explain it. But
I think
that's
it's
why it's
just
yeah, that's why it's heavy. Um,
I personally
Same as Black Sabbath.
really didn't understand, really didn't understand the what I was like,
Yeah. That's what a lot of people say. A lot of people go, oh, I'm on to the heavier stuff like you. I'm like, well, it is heavy still, but you just gotta make sure that it
Yes.
beats you to the pulp, and that's what death metal does. It beats you to the pulp.
But like you were just saying, but it's such a much so I wouldn't say the music was particularly fast, but it was certainly metal. You knew you had
Yeah,
that dark tones, the doom feeling, the atmosphere they create. That's certainly metal.
yeah, definitely. I haven't told you. I haven't seen you for a while now, and I haven't told you about this, but Living Color is in Steelhouse, and
Interesting.
we are both going Steelhouse, and
Yeah, we get them.
I want to take them on the show. I want to
Yeah,
do
we
this.
need to get it. I mean, Steelers, a lot of those bands in Steelers, I think we can target,
Yeah, definitely Living Color as well. I really want to do that.
You can make them a
And
priority and see where
yeah.
we can, if we can do it.
Yeah, because what I found interesting about Living Color is that the producer, I think, was Mick Jagger. I want to show you what I'm going to be drinking on the podcast. I got a new drink to drink on the podcast for tonight. You're going to like it. Yeah, this is what I got for the podcast
Oh,
tonight.
Trooper. Oh,
It's
yeah.
actually a 10-year anniversary of Trooper, and it's an Imperial Stout, and it's 10%.
Fucking 10%.
So cheers.
Fucking
Fucking
made
hell.
it offer very good.
Fucking hell, Stron.
Like, maybe made them a jump up. It's like you're drinking a beer, man.
Oh shit, it is Stron. Fuck.
I'm a super twats, everything. To make any shits. They say you get fucking bad belly off the trooper.
But yeah, I like the regular Trooper.
Oh yeah, that's nice and thorough.
Yeah,
They
but
said
this
it
is
there.
this is something new. It's Imperium Stout
It's stronger
10
than the
10%. It's stout as well. And it's a 10-year anniversary exclusive. I think it's 10-year. Yeah, 10-year anniversary
That's fucking
exclusive.
strong,
And my friend
man.
got me this. So yeah, if you're watching, thanks George. Welcome to Roll Into Metal. I'm Josh, and this is
Reach for it. Yeah,
and
that's true.
yeah, and we've wow, how many podcasts have we done now? Like
Well,
I think
we've done 5 so far. I mean, this is number 5 where we do this.
yeah, this is our fifth one, and so yeah, I'm just glad that you guys are willing to do this, and me and Rhys have been checking out your music, and it's been absolutely amazing. So,
Yes, that's
but
true.
but before we dive into what we want to discuss with you, do you want to introduce yourself one by one?
So I'm Jared Fear, the frontman of Reduced to Ruins. I'd write the lyrics, well, most of the lyrics for our music.
Yeah, so my name's Eros. I'm the lead guitarist and primary songwriter of the tunes. So basically, yeah, I write fat riffs, I write cool solos, and then do a little bit of lyric writing here and then.
Yeah, I'm Morgan. I'm the drummer. I do caveman stuff. I hit the drums. Sometimes I write them, and then I give the most energy on stage. Apart from Eros when he's writing it, when he's playing about with his drop tunings and stuff
Oh,
with
mate,
old
you
stuff. And
Yeah.
I think, yep, Al.
Yeah,
About you,
I'm the newbie, so I'm the new guitarist. Just joined. What was it? Last month before.
Yeah,
So
literally like last
fairly
month.
fresh to the band. Hopefully gigging soon. Got to practice this Friday, so can't wait to actually get jamming. Kind of throw some riffs out here and there, and then also work as a producer. So that's me.
That's great. I checked out your band earlier on Spotify and be listening to it. Yeah, it's really cool. I love you guys' logo. I love it. It's very it's very dark and it pushes out who you are as a band, I think. especially with what I've heard. Because you don't have an LP out right now, is that correct? No.
Yeah, no, we've only got the 2 singles and an EP currently.
Okay, because I remember listening to it and I'm thinking, wow, that was short. I want more. Give me more. Is there any work on progress of you getting out that first LP? And what does it look like? What direction do you want to go?
So at the moment, we don't actually have any plans for a full-length LP. Our sort of main goal is to establish ourselves more in both the Southwest, and then we're also moving up to Bristol because I moved up to Bristol for university not too long ago, and that's actually how I met Al. So that's one thing university's done good for me so far, apart from putting me in lots of debt. Um, but yeah, so we're focusing more on the EP side just to get because it's still cohesive. It's more than a single, but in the worst case scenario, it doesn't do well. It's not as much time wasted, you know.
I just listened to it and I was like, wow, these guys have got some in it. I feel like a lot of energy. I was talking to about Rhys this earlier as well. I see a lot of um uh, I would say a bit of like aggression, like that Corey Taylor kind of like early Slipknot kind of aggression as well.
Jared's going
And
to be absolutely made up to hear that.
That's what I was
Yeah, I
going
mean,
for.
through listening to your stuff already, we can get your influences, Jared. Definitely, I'd say Slipknot has got to be an influence to you, right? So what are your influences in general?
Other influences in general. Oh, I mean, the thing is, we're also like very like music wise. We all have our own sort of influences. So, for example, a lot of mine come from things that aren't metal. So at the moment, I'm listening to a lot of hip hop and rap. So things like Travis Scott and the new Metro Boomin album, and I try and incorporate sort of elements from that into the sort of metal. Like we have like trap drums and 808s and stuff like that. It just adds like a new dimension to it. So that's sort of me at the moment, but I'll pass on to the other guys to talk about their influences as well.
Yeah, my favorite band would be Avenged Sevenfold, but with the EP that we did, I was still very Corey Taylor influenced, like massively. He was probably like my biggest influence being a vocalist when I started Scream. But I guess like my sound that I'm bringing to it now with the newer sort of music is still keeping that, but going for more like towards trying to do like Will Ramos and sort of more like heavier vocals rather than just shout and getting more gutturals involved and more higher screams rather than it all just being fry scream. I'm in the process at the minute of actually learning how to do false chord as well, like false chord screaming rather than just fries.
I'm very much more into the sort of deathcore, hardcore side of when I'm writing my drums and stuff. Very influenced by like All Mature and bands like Alpha Wolf and things like that. Malevolent as well as another one. So I try and incorporate sort of that groove aspect as well as just hit as many things as fast as possible. Because that's that sort of thing, at least for me, that really brings out the energy that we want to go for in the music. And Eros does me quite well sometimes because he writes these fat, chunky riffs that I can just basically just shed my sticks to dust over, and it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. Influence wise, it's kind of difficult because it's like Eros, he was saying about rap. You've got loads of different influences. For me, a massive influence for me is Bring Me the Horizon. But then you got more of the heavier bands like Knock Loose, 1056. Morgan mentioned Alpha Wolf, stuff like that. But then like trap metal, pretty much anything that I'd like sound of when it comes to electronic production. That's kind of where I like to specialize, like stuff like Mick Gordon as well. You know, feel that takes a massive influence in what I put forward to the band with production and stuff.
We're supposed to see they already got a dynamic as
Oh
individuals
yeah,
working together.
yeah. So like, yeah, that's the thing that's interesting about this band actually. It's the dynamics of how we sort of work together. Because for me, I had never been in a band apart from this one with other members. Sorry, that was a really bad way of explaining it. My main band, Medina, I'd never worked with any other musicians apart from them, and before I formed this new band, so it was really interesting to see like how this like new members adds to the dynamic. Like it was, yeah, really interesting to see actually.
Yeah, me and Eros, we went to college together, and we never really had experience as a metal band because neither of us, obviously, doing college and stuff, we were never really given this sort of outlet to play metal. I think we played one of your Medina singles at a concert.
Yeah, which is very sort of pop rock, indie
That
rock.
was very like sort of like pop punk sort of style thing, but outside of that, we'd only really played the bog standard like what college sort of has you play. We were in a soul band and things like that. But this is our first metal project together.
And like Rhys said, it all pushes together to one dynamic. And I could see that. I remember I forgot the title of the tune now, but I remember that there was like a little bit of like a techno dance element to it. I don't know what tune it was.
That is something like we've sort of tried really hard to work on. As the band, like adding these new elements from different genres. Like me and Jared, we love sort of the trap drums. In fact, it might be the one you're talking about, the trap drums at the end of Beauty and Bruises. Everyone seems to really enjoy that section where it just completely switches up from what the song was before.
Yeah, and it reminds me of a band that I was listening to the other day, and I'm terrible at that of remembering bands' names. That's one thing that I'm terrible of is remembering title tracks and albums. I'm like, I know the cover, I know exactly what it is, and I know how to get on Spotify because I always add it to my playlist. But I'm so bad at remembering shit, and it's like I'm 26 years old. I'm like, oh, my fucking brain is frying up already. So yeah, but yeah,
So
does
how
any of you?
metal you listen to it?
Yeah, it's so much metal I
This is
listen
fucking
to.
death.
Um, and it is it's there, and it's also because I'm listening to so much every day, I forget every band I listen to. Do you have that problem? Like, so I bet you sometimes do you have that problem when you're on tour and you're like, oh shit, what is this band that we're touring with now? I forgot their name.
Mate, sometimes I even forget the names of our own songs. It's fine. Like songs I've written off, forget the name of.
I think we've had that a couple of times. We've been playing with bands and we just could not remember for the life of us what they were called. There was one that sticks out in my mind, but I can't remember. Again, I can't remember it to save my life.
If worse comes to worse, we just have to check back for the posters, see what was on the poster at the time.
I bet if it's like a black metal band or death metal band, you're like, fuck, I have to read the logo now. And if it's something I can't fucking read out, like I have to bloody search it up on Google or something. And that's the good thing about metal is that you remember points, you remember artwork, you remember how the tune goes, but then you're like, fuck, what is this song? Like, and then if you don't save it, you've lost it. And then the good thing about it is that if you forget to save it, if someone plays it at at a metal club or at a festival or a gig, you're like, shit, I know this song. Well, I heard that here, they do the cover of it, or that I know this song from somewhere, and it picks up. And it's so great like that. I remember, I don't know about you guys, and this is what my next question is. What brought you into metal? And a lot of the metal stuff that brought me into metal was video games and WWE games. So like I'll play WWE with my brother, and there's like the ton of metal music, and you're like, oh my god, what is this band? And I told my dad, what is this band? He said Megadeth, and I'm like, I've heard this from SmackDown versus Raw. It's crazy. Yeah. So what brought you into metal?
I'd probably say I didn't get into metal until I was like about 12, and then one of my friends who I'm still friends with now, you've met her, Errol, she's called Ebony. I believe you've met her.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
she showed it to me, and she showed me Marilyn Manson, and then like Korn, and then like Avenged Sevenfold, and it just kind of grew from there. And I'm actually into more heavier music than she is now, so it just kind of went from that. And then just musically, I always wanted to be like a guitarist. Sinister Gates was one of my biggest influences, and I kept just working towards that. And then one day, one of the bands that I used to be in, the last band I was in before this one, the vocalist decided he wanted to do the guitar instead of doing the vocals. So I took over that, and then ever since I've basically sold all my guitars now, apart from one. So it was just progressed. I never originally wanted to be a vocalist, but I could do it, so I decided to.
That's great. And what I love about that, and I'll let the rest of the band continue as well now about this. But what I want to touch upon, what you mentioned, is that when you said about Sinister Gates and stuff, you really felt that power then to like go, oh, I really like this, I want more, and you want to explode further then.
I've always been a pop punk kid when I was younger. It was all Fall Out Boy, Blink-182, Paramore, things like that. Growing up, in my childhood, there was sort of heavier music present rather than what you normally listen to in the car with your dad say. My integration sort of into metal as a genre was more recent. My girlfriend found Asking Alexandria as I was starting to branch away from the pop punk into more of like the new metal, like Korn, Slipknot, things like that. She showed me the Stand Up and Scream album, and I was like, I really like this. And then it sort of just branched from there, just listening to, as I say, Korn, Slipknot, things like that, Asking Alexandria, and then it all just hit at once, and then all of a sudden I'm down the Warner Shore rabbit hole listening to deathcore, like Thy Art Is Murder, on repeat for days at a time. My Spotify Wrapped from the last 2 years is just full of stuff that nobody would have expected me to listen to. So yeah, Asking Alexandria is definitely a big influence of getting me into it, and my girlfriend as well, just getting me there and getting me doing things like this with these lovely boys.
Well, it's as Morgan's hair grows, the music he listens to gets heavier. I think that's the theory.
It does indeed, yeah. I
I
used to have when Eros knew me in college, I was short back and sides, a little quip over the top. Now I'm
I
just
remember it
like,
well.
how fast can I start cosplaying as literally any metal musician you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah, I think I'll take up next. So it's interesting how you mentioned video games, Joshua, because for me, one of the biggest, well, I think in fairness, the first proper metal band I ever listened to, same as sort of like Jared, was Avenged Sevenfold. It was when they did when Call of Duty in 2013 released the Origins Black Ops 2 map pack zombies, and in the trailer, Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold was playing. And I was nowhere near old enough to be playing that game, by the way, can I just say? But that as soon as I saw that trailer and I heard the song, I was like, right, that's it. I went out and bought the album with my pocket money, and I listened to it front to back. And ever since then, I've been a metalhead. So you have Avenged Sevenfold and specifically Sinister Gates to thank for that. Sorry. Before you mentioned wrestling, WWE. Another one of the first metal bands I listened to was Killswitch Engage because they did This Fire for CM Punk.
I was going to say Megadeth were on SmackDown versus Raw 2004. I think that's the one.
2006, 2006, I think it was, if I
Oh,
can
it
be
was.
precise. But
I've got it sat here. I've got a PlayStation 2 with that game just sat on my desk somewhere.
yeah,
I might play it after this.
I love that game, and I've actually got an emulator on my PC with that game, and it's mad, right? So I want my brother to come here to play that game with me for nostalgia purposes, and yeah, it's mad how video games can get you into metal, and going back to when Jared and Eros mentioned about Avenged Sevenfold and about video games, and for me, Avenged Sevenfold has a lot of video games into metal, and I feel like that's a big trend now because didn't Ice Snake Hills do a hunting season Fortnite? They did a Fortnite song called
think it was
Hunting
PUBG.
Season.
I think it was PUBG.
PUBG, yeah. Well, yeah, they're all the fucking same, and they're like all these like shooters now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but
Mine and Jared's favorite band, that.
yeah. They're actually my second favorite band as well. I love Ice Nine Kills. So
I guess for me, where I started with metal was my mum got me Word Perfect on Enter Sandman at age 4. So it kind of just took off from there. I had a little bit of a break, kind of found Eminem and all that kind of stuff. And then my barber, as I started getting back into metal, my barber was like, what stuff do you listen to? Told him like bands like Avenged. Obviously CM Punk is my favorite wrestler, so This Fire is such a class song. But he showed me After the Burial, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. I was listening back on the way from getting my haircut, listening to Lost in the Static, and just the low chugs, heavy riffs, that kind of propelled me into doing more riff writing and stuff. So that's kind of where I am.
No, it's just fascinating to see how where people grow from the metal
It definitely is. I mean, it's
metal.
mad to see
Yeah.
that on you guys. Like, I'm old this fact, right? So my influences are very death and the really old thrash metal bands. But it's really nice to see the young generation of like jump into the event temple and things like that because they are legends to you, but they, you know, they're really young to me. Like, but it shows how metal carries on through the generation. It really does, you know, how it stays, how it changes, but it never dies. So this brings me on to my question that I always ask, and it really fits with the last question John asked. So I'm gonna say, what does metal mean to you?
What does metal mean to me? That's a very deep question.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, metal is all about community at the heart of it. And I think that's a notion that is shared with most of my other bandmates as well. It's like one big family. Like in the Southwest, especially, like, because obviously we've sort of slowly risen through up to like get bigger and bigger shows, and everyone's so supportive. Like big, huge shout out to our brothers in Lacerta. They are perhaps our best friends. And like yeah, just it's community, it's family, really. Like everyone's included.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely community is a big part of it. Also, just the feeling of being able to sort of the genre of the music, isn't it? The energy, the sort of just a let loose style of it. It's all just you've got so much pent up emotion and whatnot, and it's all just. I'm looking over at my drum kit while I'm talking because it just makes me imagine how I feel when I'm playing. You just throw everything down, and it all just goes on what I'm playing in the here and now, which is why our songs, my favorite one of our songs is Holy Genocide, our probably our fastest one we've written, and it's just in the 4 minutes or so that we play that song, that is the most at peace with the world I think I ever feel.
And weirdly enough, Morgan, that's a song that's written about the Crusades.
Well, I'm just built to go crusading then, aren't I?
Crusade of love, hopefully.
Yeah, I think Eros and Morgan have kind of said it already, but like, is that really that community? I mean, I'm new to the band and I already feel like this is part of a family. Like these boys are absolute legends and made me feel so welcome joining into the band. But like you go to festivals like Download and you don't meet a bad soul there. Everyone in the metal
Yeah.
community is just so sweet. They're so caring. Doesn't matter if you like the same bands or not. I feel like if you meet a metalhead, they're gonna like welcome you in, be nice, friendly, and it is just a big, massive metal family at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I've always thought that, you know, the music might be airing on the negative, maybe it's about aggression, it's about killing things and fighting shit up, but really it's a paradox in it because there's so much positivity in those negative lyrics, you know, and it's a community of love, isn't it, Lewis? And everybody's accepted within that community.
Like yeah, you said it's sort of like a paradox, and that's so true because like from an outside looking in, it could see that like oh you see these like this aggressive music and people like doing circle pits and swinging their arms and stuff, and you might think oh that's terrifying, but when you actually get involved, it's like no, it's if anything, it's like the opposite of what it makes it seem. It's like everyone's just so sweet. I've actually legitimately not met like a mean person in the like, especially in the local scene. Everyone's so nice.
And this is what I mean, this is where me and Josh are coming from, isn't it, you know? The fact is they treat us no different to anybody else, do they?
Yeah. Do you want to tell them? Do they know? Do you want to tell them what makes you terrified when I go to gigs?
Right, so
And if
Josh
I
goes in the
and
mosh pit, right? Just a fucking idiot, right? Right to the middle of the mosh pit is Josh.
and I make him terrorize, and I feel like if you guys ever come to Cardiff, I really hope that you do come to Wales, come to our area. Yeah, we're not just a bunch of sheep shaggers, I promise you that. Um,
No,
I don't know
yeah,
about that one.
no,
Don't know about that one. We try.
no.
I've been looking into trying to get because you're from Cardiff, fuel in
yeah,
Cardiff,
yeah.
really good venue that I'm looking into trying to get booked for the band.
Awesome. Man, like obviously I know the organizers. So yeah, just drop my name that you've done a podcast with us, and I'll see what I can do from my end and stuff as well, trying to get you there because I've helped some bands get there as well. So because I spend a lot of money there, so they love me there, I guess.
Yeah,
So.
we always agree, but then maybe, as promotion wise, is there anything you want to say to our audience? Like,
Anything you want to say? I'll let you start, Jared. You are the face of the band, my friend.
I am the face of the band. Well, just going back to the thing about Cardiff gigs, just before we move on. I was talking to our manager, our booking manager, Amy, and she has messaged a band that needs supports on the 13th of March, which will be at the Fuel in Cardiff. Which I don't know. I haven't had a chance to speak to the rest of you about it, but I just thought I'd drop that one in case we get it and in case we can all do it.
You're getting it, guys. You're getting a live look into how we book our gigs. Jared comes
Yeah,
up with a date. Can you do it? Yes, no.
if you can't, you've got to.
Should we just surprise drop the demo as well that we're working on at the moment?
just do it.
Fuck it. After this, it'll be
Yeah,
in
yeah.
all your inboxes because we definitely have a newsletter.
I also want to know when you do live gigs, what is your favorite? Because I know that you are got so tight with so much songs that you haven't got much before. What is the song that you do that is a cover song? Because I guess you do a cover song.
We've done one cover in the past. That was Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, but I'm not sure if we're doing that one. We do have one planned for Metal to the Masses, but we're keeping that one under wraps. That's going to be
Yeah, I think we're retiring Limp Bizkit for the foreseeable future. I think I'm right in saying that it was a good run. We had it for about 8 months.
It was a good run. We milked the shit out of it for 8 months.
It was great when we did it. It just got the audience going because it's Limp Bizkit, it's standard new metal. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. And but yeah, this one Jared's on about from Metal to the Masses. It's got to stay completely hush hush. Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. I like Hush Hush. Just make sure that you send me the video, Jared. I would love to see the cover, whatever it is. And I feel like if you do come to Fuel and you do want to do a cover, you got to do Rolling for me and Rhys because we roll
Yeah,
into
so
metal.
we done. Yeah, we're thinking, but
Oh, well, we'll have to see if we can get that one arranged for you guys. Absolutely.
Try and break it out for the special.
Or some like Avenged Sevenfold because I know that you all guys love it. Well, most of you guys do. But I maybe Morgan's different. Maybe Morgan's gone a bit like into death metal now and like more than anything because of his hair's going longer and longer and longer. So
He's
so
going to
when
start.
you start using the fucking you'll be the fucking paying for or some shit.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't think the council will allow me to windmill for much longer because I'm starting to take people's eyes out.
But no, I'm looking forward to, if this does happen, I know I mean Reese be looking forward to seeing you shortly and like I said, if you guys are there, let us know. I'll jump in the mosh pit, I'll get a mosh pit going, a circle pit around me.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
And you fucking are, I drag you in there. I drag you in there. I'll take you by your oxygen mask and I'll drag you in there.
I'd be fucking flying off our shit. I just take it. Yeah, anyway, boys, thank you for doing this. This has been very good. And we there you have it. We spread the word as best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome stuff, guys. Awesome.
Amazing. Thank you
Thanks.
very much for having us. It's been amazing.
It's been great, and I'm looking forward to seeing your new music as well. So like, whenever you got new music, just let me know, and I'll be happy to promote it on our page and stuff.
We have
What?
just finished a new single, so as soon as we get in the proper studio and do that, we should get a release date once it's all mixed and mastered and everything's done.
Awesome.
Well, we should have something to be able to tell you if we come back next time.
Yeah, definitely, it'll be awesome. I know that I'd be up for that. I'm sure Rhys will too.